Alright, we're going to do the third installment of the Create a 3D FPS Boss Fight in Godot Complete Guide Part 1. Have fun. In this one, we are going to be making the plant attack the player. Alright, so we're going to try this. We're going to go to our plant scene, and then we're going to go to each one of our animation players and say animation finished, and we're going to connect that to our plant script. So we'll do it here and there. So now when our animations finish, it's going to call one of these, and we can tell it to play another animation. So we're just going to test that. We're going to say if anim name equals idle. We'll just play it again. So we'll say what is this, left anim dot play, and we'll say idle. So let's Control C and then Tab, Control V, and get rid of that, and then Control V. And instead of left anim down here, we want right, and then in here we want middle. And so if we look at our animations, we have them all, this is for our left, this is for our middle, and this is for our right, but all the animation names are the same. The middle just has one extra animation called sweep, but we all have idle, ready, return, and shoot. So, do we have return? Yeah, we do have return. Okay. So right now they should all just be playing the idle animation over and over again. We can see none of our idle animations loop. They should only play one time, but as soon as they do play, they should run this function. So we're just going to test that now. All right. Okay, yeah, it looks like we're looping. It's just going to keep playing that over and over again. So let's try shoot. So the left one should, yep, play the shoot animation. All right. So basically what we'll do is make a match statement. So we're going to say match anim name, and then we'll have idle. Oops. Idle, and I'll just put pass. And I'm going to Control C and then Control V, and instead of idle, I want to have let's see, ready, and then the next one is going to be shoot. All right. So we're going to need to bring in a random number because we're going to randomly decide whether we shoot or idle. So let me bring up the Godot documentation, and I'm just going to Control C, and then we will Control V down here. Let me open this up all the way. We're going to get rid of that. We just need these two things, Control X, and put this down here, and we'll back that up there, and then we need to press enter. So all we do is set up a random number generator.new, we call that RNG, and then we say RNG.randomize. This is a Godot function that just creates like a random seed, and then we are getting our random number. We're just going to call this rand int, and instead of rand f, we want rand I range, and our range is going to be 0 to let's say 2. Actually, we'll go 0 to 1, and then we'll say if rand int equals 0, then we will say let's see, left anim dot play, and we'll just do idle for another round. However, if it's not, then the rand else, then we will say left anim dot play, and I guess we'll go ahead and say ready. And so if the one that we just finished is ready, we need to go ahead and play shoot. So we'll just go here and say left anim dot shoot. Oh, no, left anim dot play, and then shoot. All right, and what we're gonna Control C here, and then we're going to say if shots, if left shots is greater than or equal to 5, our next one is going to be idle. However, if we haven't shot 5 shots yet, we are going to Control C, and we'll say else, Control V, and this will shoot. So we'll shoot again, and here we need to go to left shots, Control C. We're going to need to declare this up here, var left shots equals 0, and then we're going to go left shot, oh, I can just do this, left shots plus equals 1. Oh wait, no, equals 0. And then down here we need to go left shots plus equals 1. Control save. So that should work. Let's go ahead and give it a try. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then oh, okay, so we need to do one more thing. We need to go to return. Oh, Control Z. We should go return, and that looks good. And then we need to add that in, of course. So we'll go here and we'll say return. And then we need to say, what is it, left anim dot play, and then we'll just go back to idle, and hopefully that looks okay. I know we didn't do great in the animation department, so let's give it a shot. So he's in idle, he finishes, he goes up, shoots 5 shots, he goes to return, back to idle. Oh, look at that, that's fucking perfect. So escape, so I'm just going to get rid of some of this blank space because it annoys me, and we'll take it to full view. So basically we're going to Control C, and then we'll just Control V, And I'll do it one more time down here, Control V, and we're just gonna go rand int 2 and rand int 3. You know, this really isn't the best way to do it, but it's 4:30 in the morning, so. Oh, it does not match any indentation level. Yeah, it should, that makes sense. I'm being stupid. There we go. We don't need to do that. Get rid of that, get rid of that. All right. And then since we're in the middle one, we have to say if rand int equals 2, then we want to do middle anim dot play, and this will be sweep. So we also have to increase that to 2. And then we need to, we're going to Control C, and then Control V, and Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V, and Control V, and then we need to do the same thing down here, but with right. So Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V, and Control V, and then Control Save, Control S. We'll go back up and we'll just run the damn thing and see if it works. Nope. No, it shouldn't work because we actually have left shots, but we don't have right shots. So I'm just gonna save that real quick, put it down here, and we're gonna go right shots, and middle shots, and Control C, where is it? Control V. Oh man, this is riveting shit right here. And then we're going to Control C. What do you have a problem with? Unindent does not match any level. What are you talking about? Something happened there. I'm not sure what. Where was I? That's right. Right shots. So we need to change that. Change that. And change that. So that looks good. All right. We'll Control save everything and we'll run it. All right, we can see that one's doing a sweep, that one's chosen to be idle, and the other one's firing. So the one on the right hasn't done anything but idle, and the one in the middle is stopped. The one on the left, oh, there we go. Looks like we're firing. Why has the one in the middle stopped? And I think I know why, because after it did the sweep, it didn't know where to go. So we need to go to the middle one and include a sweep. So we'll say sweep, and then we'll just send it back on to idle. So middle anim dot play, and this will be idle. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, oh, I guess we don't have a return on the middle one. So if we go from shoot, we're just going to go right back into idle. And yeah, let's run that one more time. Four, 5, 6, right back into idle. There should be shooting 2. And bam, so we got some animations going. I want to see it do the sweep attack. Oh yeah, there it goes. The sweep attack, and then it goes back to normal, goes right back into idle. So everything appears to be working. Alright, so now let's make a seed. We're going to make a new scene. This is what the plant is going to be firing. We're going to say, let's just go with mesh. And that's going to be a new sphere mesh. I think we're going to make this like 0.5, and then we're going to make this 1. And you don't really need a whole ton, so let's just go with 32, and we'll go with 16, and then we'll control save. I'm going to call this seed, and we're going to call this seed, and let's actually increase the height just a little bit. Let's go 1.75. I kind of like that look. And then we're actually, you know what, let's go 1.5. There we go. All right. Control save. And then I want these to float up in the air until they reach a certain point, and then they're going to start heading towards the player. So we're going to attach a script to this, and we're going to say create, and we're going to get rid of that. And I think one way to do this is, since we're going to basically be instancing them from the mouth of the plant, I'm just going to go here and create a position 3D, and we're going to put this, if we go to our transform, we're just going to put it 5 above, and then on our initial script here, we're also going to add a tween. We'll add a tween, and this right here will say tween dot interpolate property, and we're going to be affecting ourself. The property we're going to be affecting is the translation. Let me think about that. Transform. Yeah, I think it's translation. All right, next we need the initial value is going to be translation. And we're going to be going to the position 3D dot translation, and the next thing we need to do is, let's do a duration of 3 seconds. We're going to do translinear. We don't want any bounce on that. Ease in, and then delay is 0. We don't want any delay. So after that, we have to go ahead and start our tween. So we're going to do tween dot start, and then what we're also going to do is click on our tween here and say tween all completed. Actually, let's go tween complete, and we'll connect, into the seed here, and we'll just say print. Actually, let's get rid of that. I think we want all completed, sorry. Disconnect between all completed, connect. All right, and then we will print. Get rid of that. The tween has completed. All right. So we're going to instance this every time our plant shoots up in the air. So we're going to go to our plant script here, and we're going to need another onReady var. onReady vart. This will be seed. Let's call it plant. Plant seed equals load. And then we need to find seed here, seed.tscn, plug that on in there. All right, let's close this, open this back up, and let's just do it for one. So when we shoot, you're gonna say seed var s, s equals plant seed dot instance, and then we're gonna do add child, but we're gonna want to get at our bone attachment left head dot add child, and that's going to be s. So let's see what that looks like. Kind of interesting. All right, so let's go back to our seed, and then we'll also say tween dot set. We don't want tween. We just want to set as top level. Oh, true. And then let's run that. Well, it's only going to do it on that head over there. There we go. I mean, that kind of works. I kind of want it to go straight up in the air. But, you know, we'll figure that out. All right, so we have kind of a crude way of spawning in some stuff, but we want to make that a little bit better. I really want it to look like, you know, kind of like this, where you have like 5 projectiles flying through the air when they shoot. So that's what we're going to try and do. So the best way to do that, I think, would be to just go to our plant, and on each armature, I'm just going to add a position 3D, and we will rename it. We'll call this pause 1, and then I'm going to just control D, 3, 4, 5. We already have 5, so we'll, yeah. And then we want to just start grabbing them and moving them out. So this is position 1. I'm going to stay in this Z plane. That'll work for now. I'll just control save, and then we are just going to go back to our script, And let's change our seed script a little bit. So we're not going to do it on ready. We're going to have to say func, and this will be activate tween. And we need to pass in a position. And we'll go position dot translation. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. What are we missing here? Hold on, let me look at this. Get out of here. Translation, position dot translation. Oh, I need that. Position dot 3. We don't want that. What is supposed to go here? The final value. Oh, so I need to change this back to just translation, and then I need to change this to position dot translation. Oh. Just control save. So we got that now. So that's just going to go, if we go back to our 3D, it's going to go from the mouth to one of these points, and we have to pass that in our plant script. So we're going to say s dot, what do we call that? Activate tween, control C, and then activate tween, and we're basically going to do this based on the amount of shots. So we're going to say var use string equals, and that'll be str left shots, and that will be plus, and what do we need to call that? Pause, right? Yeah. Pause. And then we will take this, Control C, Control V dot get node, and we open that up, and we'll put our use string in there. And we just need to make this into a string. So let us, I'm going to print our use string. And all right, so this is what we're going to pass in. So activate tween, and then I'll grab this whole thing down here, Control X, and we'll pop that in right there. So on our seed, we are calling the activate tween function, and we are passing it in one of our positions based on which shot we're on. So it'll say pause 1 for shot 1, pause 2 for shot 2, and so on and so forth. But we need to change, actually, you know, let's just go ahead and run this and see what happens. Probably gonna crash. Yeah. Translation. So position was null, and that is because we have 0 shots. Oh, that's right, we need to add All right, left shots +1. Let's try that again. All right, so just a few things to fix to get it working. We need to change this to global. Oh wait, yeah. No, just transform. Translation. Sorry. And then we need to change this to global transform dot origin. And then we're going to Control C and put that right there, and then Control Save, and that should be fine. The next thing we need to do is go back to our plant script and change this to 4. And then we also need to, we can code this out. So if we run this right now, we're going to be activating our tween before we actually add our seed into the tree. So we need to place this underneath here. So then we can Control Save. And if we play it now, I have collision turned on so I can see some stuff. But we can see that we have those little seeds going out to those positions. And then we're going to make them turn and shoot the player. Those were just markers I added in. I'm going to get rid of those. Alright, so what we're going to do is go back to our seed class. Our seed scene, sorry. And then in our interpolate property, we need to go here, and we're just going to make this easier on ourselves, and we're going to call this to location time. And then I'm just going to Control C, and we're going to make that an export var up here. And we're going to put this at 3.0 to make sure it knows it's supposed to be a float. And then we're going to copy this, and then Control V, and we'll put this one at 0.5, and this one is going to be 2 player time. So this is essentially how fast it's going to travel from the plant's mouth to that location that we have set up. From the plant's mouth to the location that we have set up, and the second one is going to be a location up here that we set up to the player, and it's going to fire it. So we just need to modify the script a little more for that. The first thing we need to do is say var player. Actually, we'll do it Control X. We'll do it down here after the tween. After the first tween completes, we're going to say var player equals game manager dot get player, and then of course we have to go make that function in our game manager script. So we'll go back, we'll click on game manager, and we'll say func get player, and all we're going to do is just return our uppercase player. So we already had that when we register our player up here, so we're just letting it know what the player is. And so we return back to our seed here. And we are going to then, let's go out of distractionless mode, and we'll go back to our seed, and we're going to add another tween. And we'll call it, we can just leave it tween2. We'll go back into our script, and we're going to say at tween2 dot interpolate property, And we're really gonna have the exact same thing as up here. So I'm just gonna copy everything inside the brackets and then bring that down. But instead of position, we're gonna put player. And that should be okay. And we're gonna say to player time. So let's see, we are acting on ourself, we're moving our translation, and we are getting our global transform.origin. We're moving to the player's global transform.origin. This is our time that it's going to take to move. This is the type of tween we're using. This is the easing we're doing, and that's the delay. We have no delay. So that all looks good, and then we just have to go tween2.start. And I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to click on tween2 and say node. All completed, and I'm going to connect that to our seed, and down here we're just going to say print second tween completed. I don't know why I did that. There we go. So now this should work. We're going to go ahead and run it and see what happens. So only our left one over here is going to fire anything. Oh my god, dude, hurry up. There we go. So, you know, that's not bad. And, you know, if you have 3 of them firing. So, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I can dig that. Now we got to add a fire breath for his sweep attack. Maybe we'll do more particles. And yeah, this thing is wrapping up. So we're not quite done yet with our seed. We want to add an area onto this. And that area is going to have a collision shape. So we'll do that, and we'll go back to our inspector. On our collision shape, we're going to add a new capsule shape, and we'll spin it as close as we can. We'll just go to the transform, and we'll hit -90. And then we're going to bring it in until it's, you know, relatively close. I think just a little bit under, you know, make it a little bit more fair in the player's favor. So then we'll control save, and we're going to go to our seed and add a material. And right now I think we're just going to make this kind of like a red. Yeah, why not just make it red? And control save. I think I hit the wrong button. And then we're going to go area entered. And we're going to connect that to our seed script up here. And we're going to say if area dot is in group, and we're going to say player projectile, and then we're going to just control C that right there, and then we'll say queue free, so we're just going to delete ourselves. And then we're also going to go here, and we're going to go body entered, and we're going to go connect, and that will be we're also going to say queue free. And so we'll probably run into some issues where we're hitting the body of the plant, but we're going to have to put them on separate collision layers. So first thing we're going to do is go to this static body. We're going to go to these static bodies, and on the collision layer, well, we can actually name these layers. So let's go to project settings, and then I think it's down here in 2D render, 3D. Yeah, pretty sure it's right here. So layer 1, we're going to call this environment Layer 2 is going to be player, projectiles. Layer 3 is going to be enemy, projectiles. Layer 4 is going to be, I think we'll just say player. And then layer 5 will be enemy. And then I'm just going to make an other. I don't know if I'll ever even use that one. Go ahead and close. And I think we should see the names reappear if we save and then environment. Yeah, okay. So we're going to take all of our environment variables and place them into layer 1. And so this is the layer that the object is going to scan for collisions in. Since we're the environment, we don't need to scan for any collisions. So we're going to turn it off. And that'll save on some performance. So this is the ground. We're going to go to collision, leave it on environment, turn the mask off. We're going to do the same for the walls here. And yeah, so that's pretty easy. This can be a little confusing. I think I'm doing it right. And then we're going to go to our player scene and our kinematic body. We're going to go to its collision and we're going to be in layer 4 for player. And we're going to be checking for player. We don't want to check for our own projectiles. We want to check for that one. And for, let's see, enemy and other. Why not? So we'll go ahead and save that. And then we should be good if we play it. Let's just make sure everything is still working and we don't fall to the map. Yep, seems to be going pretty good. One, two, three, four, and they are queue freeing. We can see though that I think the plant is hurting itself, which is not good. So we need to go back to our kinematic body. Oh no, we need to go to our plant. We'll go to its script and we'll see. So we're not checking if it's in a group or not. So we'll go to our seed and we're going to just add to group and we're just going to call this seeds. So what we want to check for is the player projectile. We also need to add that. Let me go back to our player, to the bone shot, and where is our best bullet.tscn? So we need to open that one up. And we need to create a func ready, and we'll say add to group player projectile, and then we need to okay, there we go, player projectile. So then we can go back to our plant script and we can say if area dot is in group, and it'll be player projectile, then we will do that. And we'll go ahead and add this to all of them. And then we just have to tab these over, tab, 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 tab. And so then let's try that again. We'll run it. and that doesn't seem to be working, but at least we're not hitting ourselves there. So Control C, we go back to our best bullet, add to group. Let's go to our area and let's just go to node groups, and then we'll put that there and say add. Then we'll save, and our area, if we go to our inspector, this collision is going to be player projectiles, and we're checking for enemy projectiles. We don't need to check for the player. We do need to check for the enemy. We'll check for other, and we don't need to check for ourselves. So we'll save that, and now we should be doing some damage. Alright, cool. So that still works, and we just have to make sure the plant is no longer damaging itself. Come on, pal. I don't have all fucking day. Alright, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they come right at you. Alright. So that's looking good. Alright, so now we have to hook up if the player is hit. So we'll go back to our kinematic body, and we're going to go to signals. Well, actually, let's go to our seed, and we have on area body entered, and if body dot is in group, and we'll say player, we will say body dot take damage, and we'll give it a value of 5. Well, actually, we'll just do 1 to start off with. So then we need to make this function on our player. So we are now back in our player script, and we'll just come down here really anywhere, and we'll hit func, and we'll get rid of this. We'll just put num, and then what do we need to do? We need to tell our UI to update and subtract from our health. So we're going to create another variable called var health equals let's say 10, and we'll say health minus equals num, and if health is less than or equal to 0, we will print the player has died. Alright, so now we need to update the UI. So do we have a reference to our UI? We should probably make one. Onready var UI equals and get node, and then we'll just say UI right there. So then we can come down to here and say UI dot health bar, UI dot get node, and then health bar player, and then we'll say dot value equals health. And then we can also, well, we'll just keep that there for right now, and then we'll have to go to our UI, and where the health bar player is, we'll go to our max value and set it to 10, and then we'll set our value to 10 so it's all the way up. And yeah, let's go ahead and see whether that's hooked up or not. So we've slain the plant, and it has yet to fire upon us. But here it comes. So we get hit once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, no change to the UI. So let's go back to our script and we'll just say print we are being hit. We probably should have done that from the beginning. Oh, we never added this to the group player, so we need to say add to group and then we'll say player, and that should fix our little issue there. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to maybe change how quickly we get fired upon. So yeah, we're losing health. There we go. So we got some damage. And we're going to use the same seed for every head that will shoot out. So that's probably going to be our next step. Alright, so now we're going to make an explosion. So when the player shoots the seed projectiles, they explode. So what we're going to do is just go new scene. And we're going to create a particle scene. And we'll change this to about 20. We're going to say time. We can leave that at 1 for right now. We'll go to draw passes. We're going to make this a sphere mesh because why not? The material, we'll make a new material and we'll go to use as albedo. And then, yeah, we'll go ahead and save that as best explosion. All right, and then we are going to go back to our particles. The radius of this is going to be 0.1, and this will be, let's see, what is that, 0.2? Does that make it into a sphere? All right, I'll save that. We are also going to add a timer onto this. This is going to function a lot like our blood particles. We then are going to go to our process material and add a new particles material. Our direction is going to be 1. We're going to go 0 here. We're going to go to gravity and turn gravity off. We are then going to go to initial velocity and set that to, let's go with like 3. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our direction and change our spread so that it's 180 going all the way around us. So then we can kind of play with this a little more. What happens if we do 63? Way too much. So maybe about, what if we do 2? Yeah, that's fine. And if we do time, if we make it 0.75, so I think that's all right. You know, we could obviously change that. Let's actually take the time down to like 0.25. What if we take it down to like 0.125? That's not exactly what I'm going for, but it's getting closer. Let's take this down to like 15 and maybe even down to 10. I think that's kind of more the effect I'm going for. We're also going to, what would happen if we step this up to like 40? That's kind of more what I want. And then we're going to go to scale, new curve texture, and we can add a new scale in here, and we probably want them to get smaller as they go out. And then we'll just add scale random. You know, yeah, we're gonna put it to 1. Angle, I don't think we need that. We're gonna go, of course, to color, and we're gonna add a new gradient texture, and we're gonna go here, and I'll probably start with red and then end with that black, and then we'll go here and make this like a yellow. So and if you aren't getting color here, you need to double check your material. Where is my material? All right, go back to your draw passes, and then your material. You have to make sure under vertex colors you have use as albedo selected. Otherwise, you won't get that color option. So we'll have that, and we're just going to attach a script here. Create timer, timeout, connect, and it's going to connect to the particles, and then we're just going to queue free, and then what I'm going to do here is just say print beware I live, just to make sure that this is being spawned, and we can get rid of that, and we can also get rid of that because it bothers me. And then we're going to go back to our seed, and we're going to say on ready bar, and explosion equals load, and then we need to grab best explosion.tscn and plug it in there. And then when we have our let's see, we go down here. If player projectile, the first thing we need to do is var explode equals explosion dot instance, and then we need to say get parent dot add child, and we're going to go ahead and add the explosion there. We are adding it to our child as the seed will be the plant, so we're adding it to the head of the plant, which sounds weird, but if we add it to the seed, we're going to delete the seed, so it won't work. So we add it to the head of the plant, and we then need to set its position. So we're going to say global transform dot origin equals, and then global transform dot origin. So that's just going to set our explosion to wherever the seed is in the current scene, and then we're going to say explo dot set as top level, and we're going to say true, and this will just make it stay where it is and become I think it takes it away from being a child and into the global space, but for our purposes that should work. So we go back to level 1 and we run it. Come on. All right. Yeah, so we can see what we're going for. Maybe a little excessive, and it looks like we didn't start the timer. So if we go back here and we go to timer, we can just go ahead and say auto start, and let's try that again. So wherever we shoot them, they will explode. Alright, so first things first, I'm just going to clear out some of these print statements that we have. I'm going to go back to the plant class, or plant scene really, and let's see, Control F, print. Okay, so we got one there. Let's say we'll go to the player, Control F, print. And anything else? Alright, we'll leave that one in. And then we're also going to go to the plant scene, and I'm going to start working on the sweeping animation for the middle. So what I'm going to do is actually disable the auto start for all the animations. So I mean the left and the right, but I'm going to keep the middle rolling. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to be smarter about it this time. When I go to where's the middle animations? So if rand int equals, we're just gonna put sweep on all of them. So if it equals 0 or 2, and then we'll just Control C and Control V. Well, you know what, we don't need that. We just need to put it down here. I'm stupid. All right, no. Control save. All right. So now the plant should, the middle one should just play the sweep animation over and over. Yeah, perfect. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is create a fire breath. So we're just gonna do that with another particles, and we're going to go to draw passes, and we're just gonna use sphere mesh again. We're gonna go process material, new particles. The direction I think is gonna be -1. And then we'll hit 0 here. We're going to go to gravity and hit 0. And then we're going to go to initial velocity and probably turn it up. And then the spread, we're going to limit to 0. We want it to face directly out. So I don't think we need that much velocity. Maybe we'll turn this down to 30. And then we'll maybe put 40 or 50 here. Let's try 30. I don't think we need that many. And then we'll go to scale, and here we're going to start small and go big, kind of like a beam. And then let's go back to our passes. We're going to look at this. I think we're going to put this at 0.1, and then this is going to be 0.2. So I'm going to save this as fire breath, and then I'm going to use a material. Well, the draw passes, let's go to that, and we'll add new spatial material. We'll go to albedo and no texture. We'll go to parameters, vertex color uses albedo. That's what we want. Then we'll go back to particles. And is there anything else we need to do? Well, they're pretty small. It doesn't really look great. Let's go back to process material, and we'll turn the velocity down to 10 or maybe 5. And let's call this fire breath. This one's going to act a little differently. We're just going to go ahead and add this to our plant scene and turn it on and off. So let's go to an overhead angle, and then I'm going to go to, which one is this? Middle head. Let's go to the bone attachment, and we're going to instance our, what do we call it? Fire breath. There we go. So it's facing the wrong way. Let's spin it around. And we're also going to go up to, I think it's drawing and local coordinates. We'll turn that off. So how does that look on our plant? Oh, well, that's shooting straight up too. So we want to turn it that way. Let me go on like that. And let's just play that and see what it looks like. So not awful, not great. So I think one thing I'm going to do is Turn this up just a little bit. And then if we go to our particles, I think we're going to change this to maybe like 5. And then we'll just up that. And I think that's kind of more what we want. And then of course we're going to add the color. We're going to add a gradient. And I think we're going to go from like red to like yellow. And then, you know, maybe a white down here at the very end, but we'll maybe we'll have that. And then maybe we'll even take this and just darken it just a little. Kind of looks like a big old blunt, but we're gonna run that again from the top, see how it looks. So, I mean, we could make that better, but I think we really, you know, understand what we're going for. The next thing we want to do is we're going to go back to our plant. I'm just going to close some of these because we don't really need them right now. We'll go to our plant, and so we want this to not be emitting by default, so we're just going to go I think initially we only have this one being the real sweep, so we're going to add the code in here. We are going to go to, let's see, bone attachment particles, and it's going to be emitting equals true, and then we'll just grab this and Control C and Control V, and we'll just say false, and we should probably change these back and what did I call it? Shoot ready. Yeah, I think that's how it is. And actually, I think we can just take this, Control V, we'll put it there, and then if we're doing here, well, you know what, I think we're good. Let's give that a go. So it should only be emitting after it does a sweep. So unfortunately we're waiting for it to sweep. Is it gonna sweep? Come on now. Alright, there we go. And then it should turn off. But it did not when it went back to the idle. Oh, okay, so Control X will actually put this up at the top of again, Control X here, and then Control V, and then Control X, we don't need it, and then we'll just do it here and there and there just to make sure, but now we should be good because it's only going to emit during the sweep. All right, let's play it. Sorry, I'm losing my mind over here. Come on, do the sweep. There you go. All right, it didn't do it, but now it did it. Oh, that's right, because it's doing whatever it just finished. These aren't states, these are things that just finished. I'm stupid. All right. So the idle just finished and we are going into sweep. Then we can say that and set it to true. And then if we just came from sweep and we are going into another sweep just finished, we need to set this to false. And that actually makes it a lot simpler because we can get rid of this, get rid of that, and get rid of that. So we just need it here in the actual call to make the sweep, and then we just need another one at the sweep. When it finishes sweep, it'll set the emitting to false. So let's go ahead and run that shit. Come on, do it. Do the sweep. Do it. Alright, there we go. And then, yeah, it stops. And then if it does it again, yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to the plant, and then to the bone attachment, we're also going to add a area. And on that area, we're going to add a collision shape. And that collision shape is going to be a capsule shape. And let's go ahead and set the particles to emitting because we need to see what they look like. We'll go on the x-axis. We'll then rotate this. Whoops. We want to grab our area, or actually our collision shape, and we want to rotate that. And then we're also going to move it forward. We're going to expand it out to probably about there, and then let's go on a top view and maybe shrink it down like that and like this. So I think this will work right there, and it looks like it has to come down just a little bit. That's pretty accurate. We'll save that, and then we'll take this area and we'll call this fire breath area. And oh shit, let's get rid of that. Okay, all right, bam. And then we're gonna go to our collision, and this is enemy projectile. So enemy projectile, and we're checking for hits with, we don't check for hits with the environment, we only check for hits with the player. So I'll save that, and then I'll go to, I think, body entered. We'll connect that to the plant, and we have to say if body dot is in group player. We'll say body, I think we called it take damage, and we'll just say 1. And we'll also print we hit the player. So we might have to change this if we want the player to take continuous damage while they're in the fire breath. And let's just make sure we're hitting right now. So we'll go back to level 1. And yeah. So we hit the player. So right now the way it works is if it hits you once and then you exit the body of where it's shooting. Oh, that's right, we need to disable it when we're out of the animation. So let me go back here, and we need to go back to our plant script, and where we have our, where we're doing the sweep code, where we're setting this to emitting equals true, we also need to go to our collision and then say set enabled how do you spell enabled? Enabled equals true. And then we'll go up here and do the same thing, except we'll say enabled equals false. And then we'll save that, and then we have to make sure that it's disabled by default. So we'll click here, and there should be oh, that's right, it's on the collision. We'll hit disabled, and okay, the property is disabled. That means we have to change it in our script. Disabled equals true, and then we'll come down here and say disabled equals false. And then let's just make sure when we have the collision shape we set it to disabled, so when the scene starts it'll be disabled. So let's try it again. So if we run into it, we hit the player. Oh, I think let me go back to the plant, and I need to make sure the particles are not emitting by default. I think that was what happened there. So yeah, we're not getting hit, but then as soon as he goes into the sweep animation, we should be getting hit, and we get hit as many times as we walk into that hitbox, and now the hitbox is gone. And then if he does the sweep animation again, which should be any time now, unless I coded it wrong, but I don't think I did. Come on. There we go. So then, yeah, it's enabled and disabled again. So that works. Alright, so next we need to hook up our other plants. So what we're going to do is go to our plant scene. We're going to bring this down and give myself a little more room here. We're going to go on the Z axis, and we're going to go to our skeleton 3, and then I'm just going to grab all of these and say Control C. And then we're going to go up to this one, and what do we attach them to? The bone attachment. We're going to go Control V and put them there, and move it a little bit off to the side there. And that should be good. And then we're going to change our script. So we have, we're just going to copy this and Control C, and we should bring that down to here, and Control V, and we need to change this to the right skeleton. So instead of 0, 0, 2, you're gonna say 0, 0, 3, and then skeleton 2. Bone attachment, and then same thing here, change that to 1, and we're going to change this to a 2, and then everything should be fine. Oh, we also have to change that to a 4, and let's go back to distractionless mode. And was there anything else? Let's close this function for now. Activating the tween. Well, that looks right to me. And then we're also going to do that one more time in here. So we're going to do that, and we need to do that. We need to grab this one and hit Shift, Control C, and we need to go down to our, well, up to our first armature, go to our bone attachment and say Control V. And let's move these up here, and I'm actually going to change these ever so slightly, and move that one there, move that one there. So I have no idea how that's going to look, but we're going to try it. And then let's go back to our code, and here we need to change this to 4. We also need to just get rid of that, and then I think we also get rid of that. We'll do it down here as well. And then everything should be hunky-dory. Let's run it. Oh, we need to do one thing. We need to go to our left animation and set the autoplay to on, and make sure you're doing it on the idle. So now our plant should be moving, shucking and jiving, and we should be firing on all cylinders. Okay, add child in base null instance. So we are doing something wrong. Oh, this is probably going to be right head. And then I'm going to guess up here on our middle one, we're probably going to have to say middle head. All right. Now let's try that again. So the left one fires like we knew it would. The middle one's doing a sweep. All the left one's firing, but all of them are going to the exact same place, which means that we are not increasing our position. So if we go up here, oh, that's right. I see what's going on. Alright, now let's run it. Now we should be all fucking good. Come on now. Alright. We got the sweep going on. We got, oh, nice. Those are firing off, coming right for us. I just need to see that middle head do it too. Maybe I coded that out. Let's double check that with the middle head. We'll go back to the plant script, close the output. Let's go back here. So if we just finish the idle, we can either ready, sweep, or idle, which is not what we want. We want, oh no, we do want ready. Yeah, so if it's 0, we want to ready. Okay, let's say print shooting. And let's actually give this a better chance. So it's going to ready. All right. So we appear to have a problem with the middle head. Let's go there and let's go to 3D scene. Yeah, that would make sense. So I think I made these. I think these are supposed to be right here. And then we'll actually Control Z. And we'll bring this back to idle. And then we will change these and move them to the bone attachment and save. So let's try that again. I think we're gonna have to yeah, that should be fine. No, they're still going out to the back. What the fuck? Alright, so I figured out what the problem is. I'm attaching these to the bone attachment, which I don't want to do. I want to attach these to the skeleton, so they're always staying in the same place of where I put them. So let me actually Control Z what I just did there. We'll bring it back to idle. And then I'll grab these, and I'm just going to attach them to the skeleton and Control Save. I already did it for this one, the middle one, and then we're going to do the same thing for the one down here. We're going to take all these and attach it directly to the skeleton. So that way we have more control. And let me go back to our idle here. And does that position look good? Looks fine to me. And then we're going to have to change some stuff in here where we were getting... Whoops. Oh my god, close. Alright. Then I need you open. So we were getting the bone attachment and the positions there. We're going to just go to the skeleton, and then, yeah, .skeleton.get node. So we just get rid of the bone attachment. No, we did it for that one. We did it for that one. We just need to do it for this one. All right, that should work perfect. All right, that one seems to be correct. That one seems to be correct. And then the middle one, I just need to confirm that you're actually going to work. So yeah, that's actually a lot of steps to dodge if they all do it at the same time. So that's all working correctly. Well, thanks for watching. More videos to come, and we should be finishing this series hopefully within the next video, part 4. So have a good one.